Yeah, we can hear. Yeah, hope that we can hear.
What? Why? Mute? Why? Oh,
How they can hear you talk.
yeah.
So we got 14 participants so far in Zoom, and that's great. I'm sure more people will join as we go. Soon I'll start the waiting room, and so people will have to stay in the waiting room so we can avoid hackers. As you join, please come and say hello. Yep. Who's that?
This is Renu.
Great to hear from you, Renu Nona. And Srini family is there. Dawn is here. How is your retreat, Dawn? Did you start it already?
I have.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
this is your day 1?
This is day 1. Yeah. It's not perfect, but it's going well.
Take your time.
Yes.
You won't be perfect.
No.
Not to discourage you, but to cut off expectations.
Yes. No, that's fine.
Right. I see 16 people already. I will wait 1 more minute and then we will start. This must be Victor here. Victor. Alright, so it's time to start. Let me activate the waiting room instead of locking the meeting, and please join your palms together and we'll start with the 5 precepts. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Pānātipātā vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Adinnādāna vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. කාමේසු මිච්ඡාචාරා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි මුසාවාදා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි සුරාමේරය මජ්ජපමා දට්ඨානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Two more people joined. So that's 19 participants. Excellent. Next we will do our meditation. And feel comfortable wherever you are. You may close your eyes. Pay attention to what you feel, what you hear, what you sense. If you hear birds, pay even more attention to the birds. If you hear vehicles, pay more attention to the sounds, the noise of vehicles. Anything else, pay attention to that and focus. Hear it louder. Isolate that experience that you have. Grabbing it, making it persistent with your experience. So your hearing is sharp. Sometimes these noises, sounds disappear, and you patiently wait for them to arise again. Just as you paid close attention to something that arose in the surrounding, in the background, now pay attention to something like your breathing in, breathing out experience. With that, notice where you need to adjust in your body, or let the body be. Inhale kindness, exhale toxicity. Inhale purity, exhale impurity. Now you mindfully breathe in, mindfully breathe out. Reposition your body if you have to, and come back to your inhaling, exhaling experience. Find energy in what you do and make that energy bigger. It could be a thought or this inhaling, exhaling experience that helps you focus more. It is this moment that is so precious as you breathe in and breathe out. something sublime about it, something that you can't describe. You feel alive. You love doing this. Welcome whatever you feel as it is. This is the moment to be realistic, be alive, to come out of an illusion. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out. Breathe in, experiencing the experience of breathing in and breathing out. Notice the long and short breaths as they happen. Relax with each and every breath. Not like when you cook one thing, it may taste better. If you cook too many things, you may be distracted and the taste may be different. So now all you do is paying 100% attention on your inhaling and exhaling experience. Observing the differences between short and long, medium breaths. Breathe in, breathe out, experiencing the whole body and letting the breath disappear. It won't disappear, but the feelings of the body will disappear to some extent. You may now breathe in, breathe out, experiencing your mind. Mind is the observer here. Mindfully observe things that arise and pass away in your mind. Anytime you can observe the subtlest things that arise and pass away in your mind. This body is made of 4 elements, devoid of a self. See, for example, the physical eye, the instrument that you use to see the world. It is devoid of a self. When the body is discarded, the eye has no continuation. Similarly, ear, nose, tongue, the skin, and your mind. Just as the eye are devoid of a self, a permanent self. It is empty of a self. For this I to function, there should be forms, and that alone is not enough. You need to be conscious on one of the forms outside. The meeting of these 3 is called contact. The I forms I consciousness. When these 3 meet, you make a contact. This is a constant breaking process. They each arise and pass away momentarily. You cannot catch a permanent self in this experience because each 3 arose and pass away. Contact is the condition for feelings. Sometimes what you feel is neutral, sometimes what you feel is happy, sometimes you don't like the feeling. pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. That too is momentarily experience, conditioning more feelings, dying and being born again and again, million times, very hard to catch. This is vipassana, insight. It's teaching you the empty nature, empty of a self, of the phenomena that you experience when you are alive. So feelings, condition, cravings, some feelings you like, some feelings you don't like. Some feelings you don't even acknowledge their existence. That too arise and pass away devoid of a self, because there were conditions prior to their arising. If feelings didn't arise, craving won't arise. So you look at the reverse order. If contact didn't arise, feelings won't arise. If the three things didn't meet, no contact will arise. So you see the cessation phenomena. The Buddha called this Nirodha, cessation. The experience ceased to exist. When you see the world this way, all fights, anger disappear. You choose to fill your mind with loving kindness, compassionate action and attitudes, altruistic joy, or you may as well choose equanimity. You abide in those as a means of escaping from the aforementioned chaos. When you purify your mind this way, form and formless experiences arise. In those experiences you can stay a longer period. So the craving to exist may arise, bhava tanha. and they too perish. When conditions disappear, you'll see the danger of falling back into the cycle of wandering in samsara. In which you feel hungry, you feel the pains, grief, sorrow, lamentation, despair. You feel empty again, meaningless again. So you again find an escape, avoid the traps, and find deliverance, liberation as a wise human being. Vaya Dhamma Sankara, the Buddha said, all the conditioned things pass away. Appamadena sampadeta. Cultivate the wholesomeness heedfully without any delay. So in 1-2 minutes we will end this meditation. Feel your body from the top of your head down to the soles of your feet. Feel your shoulders, your stomach, the chest, the knees. Feel the heat of your body. Your seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, physical sensations and thinking. Feel them, notice them.
No.
Excellent. So it's 8:11 now, and we have a sutra to discuss. For that, I'll have to share the screen with you. So this is the sutra. And those who are watching on Facebook Live, unfortunately, Facebook is not developed to that level to share a screen with you. So I encourage you to join the Zoom meeting. And if you don't have the link, perhaps send me the email so I may be able to share it. But also notice that sometimes there is a limit. Yesterday I had a problem when trying to send that email out. It said you have tried to send it to too many people, and it blocked me out. I had to cut off some inactive participants to bring the list down to those that I thought really benefit from it. So lucky you are in the list. And so I may not be able to, unless I find a different way of sending out emails, I may not be able to add new participants. If I do, I will have to cut off some participants. So just added someone called iPhone into the meeting. And the rule is I usually lock the meeting to avoid hackers. We had a problem one time. They started throwing out some filthy words amidst the meeting around this time. So to avoid disturbances, I usually lock the meeting. Let me lock it now, so no new participants can join. And this is from Sanyutta Nikaya. That's what you see as SN 35-197. If you read the Pali Text Society's version, you see the number. That's what PTS means. The sutra name is Vipers, āsivisa Sutta. So this is a translation by Bhikkhu Thanissaro. An updated version is freely available at... Okay, so let me go to that updated version. Perfect. I have heard that on one occasion the Blessed One was staying near Savatthi in Jeta's grove. Then he addressed the monks. Monks, suppose there were 4 vipers of utmost heat and horrible venom. When snakes are venomous, you should steer away as far as possible from them. Then a man would come along, desiring life, desiring not to die, desiring happiness, and loathing pain. So he has pain, he wants to find happiness, he wants to live. And people would tell him, "Good man, these 4 vipers of utmost heat and horrible venom are yours." So this man gets into trouble here. He was escaping from pain, he was looking for happiness, he wanted his life, but now he is given 4 serpents. Time after time they must be lifted up. You need to lift up these snakes. It's as if, I've seen these videos of a man feeding snakes. He has to take them out from the crate, feed them and put it back. So in this sutra, it seems like the Buddha saw this process. So you lift them up. Time after time, they must be bathed. Time after time, they must be fed. Time after time, put to rest. If any of these vipers ever gets provoked with you, then you will meet with death or death-like suffering. Do what you think should be done. So you must be curious now. This is a simile. And we will find out towards the end what the four snakes stand for. And then the man, afraid of the four vipers, of utmost heat and horrible venom, would flee this way or that way. They would tell him, "Good man, there are 5 enemy executioners chasing right on your heels, just behind you." So the executioners are thinking, wherever we see him, we will kill him right on the spot. So their plan is to execute the man, to kill him. Do what you think should be done. So a sense of urgency arises in here. Then the man, afraid of the 4 vipers, of utmost heat and horrible venom, afraid of the 5 enemy executioners, would flee this way or that. They would tell him, "Good man, there is a 6th executioner, a fellow traveler," so not a good one, "chasing right on your heels with upraised sword," thinking, wherever I see him, I will kill him right on the spot. Do what you think should be done. So we saw 4 snakes, and then we see 5 executioners, and the 6th one, the man with the sword. The man would flee this way or that. He would see an empty village. This village is empty. What is the empty village? Whatever house he entered would be abandoned. Nobody to help. Void and empty as he entered it. Whatever pot he grabbed hold of would be abandoned. Void and empty as he grabbed hold of it. They would tell him, right now, village plundering bandits are entering this empty village. So there is no safety there too. Village plundering bandits are entering this empty village. Do what you think should be done. So this man would flee this way or that. He would see a great expanse of water as he is trying to escape, with the near shore dubious and risky. The near shore, he is doubtful whether he will have any safety, and it is risky to be in that near shore. The further shore, secure and free from risk. That is the place he needs to target. He feels secure in the further shore. But with neither a ferry boat nor a bridge going from this shore to the other, so he doesn't see any way to run to the other end, to the other shore. The thought would occur to him, here is this great expanse of water. So he see a great expanse of water in front of him going from this shore to the other. With the near shore dubious and risky, the further shore secure and free from risk, but with neither a ferry boat nor bridge going from this shore to the other. What if I were to gather grass, twigs, branches, and leaves, and having bound them together to make a raft? So he has to do the work. Were to cross over to safety on the other shore in dependence on the raft, making an effort with my hands and feet. He has his own strength to make that raft. Then the man, having gathered these items, would cross over to safety, having made a raft, would cross over to the safety on the other shore in dependence on the raft, making an effort with his hands and feet. Crossed over, having gone to the other shore, he would stand on high ground as a Brahman. Brahman here stands for someone like a Buddha or an enlightened human being. So Brahman is the highest status of a human being at the time of the Buddha in India. So the Buddha adopted that term, and anyone who is in the highest purity of mind was then called a Brahman, the highest clan. And then the Buddha says, "Monks, I have made this simile to convey a meaning. Here the meaning is this. So you see 4 vipers of utmost heat and horrible venom. So the heat and the venom stands for the 4 great elements, 4 essential elements: the earth, the liquid, fire, and wind. So they have heat, they have horrible venom. They can anytime take your life. When the heat is increased of any of these elements, just like at the time of COVID-19, you will lose the control of your life and you will end up dying. And the 5 enemy executioners, so these 5 stand for the 5 clinging aggregates. So here's the list of clinging aggregates. 1 is form. Again, the 4 elements constitute of a form, the physical form. In that physical form, you have eye, ear, nose, tongue. They also attract forms that you see, forms that you hear. So all these are forms. This is an aggregate, a collection. And then feeling as a clinging aggregate. You cling to feelings, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. You cling to them. You feel like there is a person experiencing this. And then sanya, aggregate, perception. You see red or blue or different shapes. So you cling to these experiences. These are executioners trying to kill you anytime. And then you see sankharas. So this translation has fabrications for that, and I've seen they also use formations. Sankhara is translated as formations. So different formations like in-breath and out-breath is formed by the body, so they are called bodily formations. And thinking and examining thoughts are called verbal formations, because verbs come out after thinking and you examine vitakka and vichara. And mental formations, perception, feelings, and consciousness. These are called mental formations. So they are mental, bound with the mind. So if you have heard Dhamma, you know what these are. So bodily formations, verbal formations, and mental formations. When I say consciousness, feelings, and perceptions, so you see the aggregates are working inside this. None of these arise independently. They need other aggregates to arise. So this is how the Dhamma is visible to you. When you observe the Dhamma, you begin noticing that it's inseparable. These are all bound together. So that's when I talk about formations, I go into other aggregates also. And the next one is consciousness as an aggregate. Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness. So these are different domains. You become conscious. So there are 6 consciousnesses as a collection, as an aggregate. So 5 aggregates. The form, feeling, perception, formations, consciousness as the aggregates. And the 6th one, the Pali word for that is Nandi Raga, liking this and that. Really, passion and delight is this 6th executioner which has a sword. So the 5 aggregates kind of make conditions for passion and delight to arise. Nandi Raga to arise. Nandi is passion, delight is Raga. I think Raga is passion here. Nandi is delight. So Nandi is liking something. Delightful things you get, you say, oh wow, I like that. Let me as well dwell in there for some time. And then you get distracted like a little puppy. And then you begin playing with that. So you kill time that way. The empty village stands for the 6 internal sense media. So you go to an empty village. That's why I incorporated the insight meditation, vipassana, into today's practice, because I wanted you to see why these are empty. If you take eye for example, when you die, this eye perishes. The physical eye, it perishes. So if you thought that this eye had a lasting permanent self, you notice that it wasn't actually permanent because it died. So you don't find a lasting permanent self in that physical eye. That's why the 6 internal sense bases are empty. If a wise, competent, intelligent person examines them from the point of view of the eye, they appear abandoned, void and empty. The ear, nose, tongue, the body, the mind, they appear abandoned, void and empty. So use that meditation again and again. I think after the recording you can sit and do that same meditation anytime and continue on to find a lasting essence, and you won't find it. So the eye is attacked by agreeable and disagreeable forms. The ear is attacked by, so these are attacked by bandits. The ear is attacked by agreeable and disagreeable sounds. The nose is attacked by agreeable and disagreeable aromas. And the tongue, the body, the intellect, your mind, these are all attacked by bandits. So you really, a man looking for an escape, looking for safety, notice that these are constantly attacked. The village is not safe. You can find a safe spot to hide. So the great expanse of water stands for the fourfold flood. Kama Oga, Bhava Oga, Ditti Oga, Avijja Oga. So flood of sensuality, Kama Oga, flood of becoming, Bhava Oga, and flood of views, Ditti Oga, flood of ignorance, Avijja Oga. So I mentioned that in the meditation. I said how we get attached to the flood of becoming. You try to meditate and you notice your mind, and then the mind goes from formed states to formless states. And these formless states kind of last longer, and you might be attached to that. So formless states like infinite space, infinite consciousness, nothingness, neither perception nor non-perception. So these are some formless states that also give rise to birth in such states, corresponding states. And when you are born in places like that, like Alara Kalama, the former teachers of the Bodhisattva, and Uddaka Rama's son, when these people reached to such higher states, they thought those were the ends, those were the farthest that somebody could go, and they began teaching that, and they died, and they are still in those states. The Buddha saw the danger of them, and he also saw that they can be impermanent states. That's why the Buddha is out, stands out from all these teachers, that he didn't want any attachment to even such a state. He thought of it as a temporary shelter, decided to leave that, started looking for a way to cross from that flood of becoming to the further shore. The near shore, dubious and risky, stands for self-identification. The near shore, you identify yourself with everything. Further shore, secure and free from risk, stands for unbinding. You don't even stay bound to any formless or form state. The raft stands for just this noble eightfold path: right view, right resolve, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right samadhi, concentration. Making an effort with hands and feet, so your own strength, stands for the arousing of persistence, virya. Crossed over, having gone to the other shore, he would stand on high ground. A Brahman stands for the Arahant. Like I mentioned, you are a Brahman when you reach to the high ground. So you are then called Arahant. The word is made of Arihant. Ari is enemies. Hant means destroyed. You have destroyed enemies. And you are now standing top on a mountain, and you are in a secure place. Nobody will be chasing after you. Right? Excellent. So, let me unmute you all. And maybe I'll mute you all. And I can allow participants to unmute themselves. If you have questions, it's 8:33 now. Feel free to ask your questions. I will stop sharing the screen. There's a chat box also there. You can ask questions. So let me share the screen again, so you see this. So let us transfer merits and end the session. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. may all beings be well and happy, and may they find true deliverance. Thank you. So, hope it was good, and I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Bhante. That was very good.
Thank you, Nada. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Anthony.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, enjoy your meditation, Dawn.
There was Sami Swaminathan, sir.
Theran Sarnai. Is that Buddhika Mahatma?
Yes,
Yeah.
Swaminathan.
You're joining from Winnipeg.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Good to hear you. And looks like you will be organizing a Vesak program, and Upul Mahatma contacted me, so
Yeah.
so
I'll talk to you on that day.
I will be giving a talk on that day.
Yes, that's what I said. Yeah. We will talk on that.
Yeah.
Sounds good?
Now that we have recorded this, maybe I can share this and be free.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for meditating with us.
Thank you, Bhante. It was great.
All right, so I'm ending the meeting. Happy meditation and take care. Stay safe.